Have you ever wondered what it would feel like to step back in time, to walk through a living medieval city where donkeys still carry goods through narrow alleyways, where artisans practice centuries-old crafts using the same techniques as their ancestors, and where the modern world seems to fade away with each step deeper into the labyrinth? Today, we're exploring the ancient Medina of Fez, Morocco, the largest car-free urban area in the world, and quite possibly the most authentic medieval city still functioning exactly as it did 1,000 years ago. We're standing at Bab Boujloud, the magnificent blue gate that serves as the main entrance to Fez el Bali, the oldest walled part of the city. Founded in the 9th century, this UNESCO World Heritage Site is home to over 150,000 people living in a maze of 9,500 narrow streets and alleyways that have remained largely unchanged for centuries. What makes Fez truly extraordinary isn't just its age or size. It's that, unlike other historical sites that function primarily as museums or tourist attractions, the Medina of Fez continues to operate as a fully functioning city. The residents here don't live in a recreation of history, they live within history itself. In this video, we'll take you deep into the heart of this remarkable place, showing you not just the stunning monuments and famous tanneries, but also the hidden corners where everyday life unfolds in ways that would be recognizable to someone from the 14th century. You can spend weeks exploring these winding streets, getting lost countless times, and discovering that in Fez, getting lost isn't a mistake. It's part of the experience. Before we dive in, it should be mentioned that filming in the Medina presents unique challenges. Many locals prefer not to be filmed, and some areas restrict photography out of respect for religious sites. What you'll see today would represent countless hours of careful, respectful documentation to bring us the authentic essence of this extraordinary place. As we move away from Bab Boujloud, the main thoroughfare quickly gives way to an intricate network of alleyways, some barely wide enough for two people to pass. Notice how the buildings lean toward each other, sometimes nearly touching overhead, creating natural shade in this sun-drenched country. This isn't poor urban planning, it's brilliant medieval engineering. These narrow passages create natural air conditioning, channeling cool breezes through the city, while blocking the harsh Moroccan sun. The high walls on either side keep the streets cool even during the hottest summer days. What's remarkable is how the Medina functions without modern transportation. Everything that enters or leaves, from construction materials to furniture to food, must be carried by hand or by donkey. Listen carefully, and you'll hear the warning calls of Balak, Balak, telling you to make way for a heavily laden donkey navigating these narrow passages. Each neighborhood within the Medina was traditionally designed to be self-sufficient, with its own mosque, bakery, fountain, hammam, public bath, and madrasa, school. This created a series of small communities within the larger city, many of which still maintain their distinct character today. We've now arrived at what many consider the crown jewel of Fez, the University of Al-Quaraouiyine, founded in 859 by Fatima al-Fihri, a wealthy merchant's daughter. This isn't just the oldest continuously operating university in the world. It represents something truly revolutionary. A center of learning established by a woman at a time when female education was rare, even in the most progressive societies. As non-Muslims, we can't enter the mosque itself, but we can glimpse its magnificent courtyard through the main entrance. Look at the intricate cedar woodwork, the delicate stucco designs, and the geometric patterns of the zelige tile work, all created without modern tools or machinery. The university attracted scholars from across the medieval world, including the Jewish philosopher Maimonides and the Muslim polymath Ibn Khaldun. The knowledge preserved and advanced here during Europe's Dark Ages played a crucial role in the eventual Renaissance, with texts on medicine, astronomy, and mathematics finding their way north across the Mediterranean. What's particularly fascinating is that this institution continues to function as both a mosque and university today. Students still study Islamic law and theology here, sitting in the same courtyards where scholars have gathered for over 1,100 years. Now we're entering one of the most fascinating aspects of the Medina, the Artisan Quarters. Unlike modern cities where manufacturing happens in distant industrial zones, in Fez, production remains visible, local, and deeply integrated into daily life. The Medina is organized by craft, with each trade occupying its own quarter. We're currently in the coppersmiths area, where the rhythmic sound of hammers shaping metal creates a hypnotic soundtrack. These artisans aren't performing for tourists. They're continuing traditions passed down through generations, often working on commissions for Moroccan families. Watch how this master craftsman shapes a copper plate using techniques unchanged since the 14th century. There's no mass production here. Each piece is handcrafted, bearing the subtle variations that distinguish handmade objects from factory-produced items. As we move through different quarters, we'll see woodcarvers creating intricate cedar panels, weavers operating traditional looms, and potters forming Fez's famous blue ceramics. What's remarkable is that these aren't historical reenactments. These crafts remain economically viable, with many artisans producing goods for export alongside items for local use. The apprenticeship system also continues here, with young people learning trades through years of hands-on training. That young man carefully watching the master? He's at the beginning of a journey that might take a decade before he's considered skilled enough to work independently. We've now reached what many consider the most famous site in Fez, the Chouara Tannery, operating continuously since the 11th century. The distinctive honeycomb pattern of stone vessels you see below contains various dyes and treatments used in the leather-making process. The smell is memorable, to say the least. That's why we've been handed these sprigs of mint to hold near our noses. The pungent odor comes from the traditional ingredients used in the tanning process: pigeon droppings, cow urine, quicklime, salt, and water. These natural enzymes help break down the raw hides and prepare them for dyeing. The men working below us stand waist-deep in these vats for hours each day, using techniques that have remained essentially unchanged for a millennium. The colors you see come from natural dyes: poppy flower for red, indigo for blue, saffron for yellow, mint for green, and cedar wood for brown. What's particularly striking about the tanneries is how they represent both the beauty and the harshness of traditional craftsmanship. The leather produced here is of exceptional quality, sought after worldwide for its durability and rich coloring. But the work itself is physically demanding and exposes tanners to harsh chemicals without modern safety equipment. This raises important questions about how traditional practices adapt to contemporary standards. How do you preserve ancient techniques while improving working conditions? It's a complex balance that Fez continues to negotiate as it maintains its living heritage. We're now entering the Al-Quaraouiyine Madrasa, built in the 14th century as a theological college. While the Karaouine University was reserved primarily for advanced scholars, madrasas like this one provided education to younger students from across North Africa and beyond. The central courtyard showcases the pinnacle of Moroccan architectural artistry. Notice how every surface is adorned intricate cedar woodwork on the ceilings, delicate stucco carvings on the walls, and complex geometric patterns in the zelligid tile work below. These aren't random decorative elements. They represent mathematical principles and cosmological concepts central to Islamic intellectual tradition. The student cells surrounding the courtyard are strikingly austere compared to the ornate common areas. These small rooms, where scholars would study and sleep, remind us that this was a place dedicated to learning and spiritual contemplation, not luxury. What's particularly remarkable about buildings like this is that they were created without architectural drawings as we understand them today. Master craftsmen worked from geometric principles and memory, coordinating teams of specialized artisans to create these harmonious spaces. The madrasa's location near both the Karaouine University and the Spice Market is no accident. It placed students in proximity to both advanced scholarship and the commercial heart of the city, reflecting the Islamic tradition's integration of spiritual and practical knowledge. As we move away from the main tourist areas, we're entering residential neighborhoods where daily life unfolds much as it has for centuries. These areas receive far fewer visitors, offering a glimpse into authentic Medina life. Notice the community bread oven on this corner. Many families still prepare their dough at home, then bring it here to be baked in this communal oven. It's not just a practical arrangement, it's a social institution where neighborhood news is exchanged and community bonds are strengthened. The fountain we're passing serves multiple purposes, providing drinking water, a place for ritual ablutions before prayer, and a social gathering spot. Before modern plumbing, these public fountains were the lifeblood of each neighborhood. Look up and you'll notice the distinctive wooden balconies with intricate latticework. These mashrabiyas allowed women to observe street life while maintaining privacy, an ingenious architectural solution that provided both cultural accommodation and natural ventilation. What strikes me most about these residential areas is the contrast between exterior and interior spaces. From outside, these homes appear modest with simple doorways leading off narrow alleys, but step inside a traditional riad and you'll discover courtyards with fountains, ornate tilework, and fruit trees, private paradises hidden behind unassuming walls. This reflects a fundamental principle in Islamic architecture, the emphasis on interior space rather than exterior display. It's a physical manifestation of values that prioritize family life, privacy, and substance over outward appearance. As the call to prayer echoes across the Medina, bouncing off ancient walls and filling these narrow streets with its haunting melody, we're reminded of what makes Fez so extraordinary. This isn't a place that preserves history behind glass cases or velvet ropes. It's a living, breathing community where the past and present coexist in remarkable harmony. The Medina of Fez challenges our modern assumptions about progress and development. It reminds us that before cars, before mass production, before digital technology, humans created communities of extraordinary beauty, complexity, and sustainability. The lessons embedded in these ancient streets about craftsmanship, community design, and living within natural limitations feel increasingly relevant to our contemporary challenges. Thank you for watching, and please help support MarocVibe by hitting that subscribe button, liking the video, and let us know in the comments which part of the Medina of Fez you enjoyed the most. Until our next adventure, remember that sometimes the most profound travel experiences come not from checking off famous landmarks, but from those quiet moments when you feel the weight of history and the continuity of human experience across the centuries. This is MarocVibe, signing off from the magnificent, mysterious Medina of Fez.